I'm Tim, guitar player, teacher. In the last video, we discussed and built the modes of the major scale. Today, we're going to quickly go through the same process with each of our minor scales. First, the natural minor scale. Because the natural minor scale is relative to the major scale, the modes associated with it will be exactly the same as the major scale modes, just in a different order. As long as we adjust our thinking to that minor key, they're not that hard to keep up with. They would be Aeolian, Locrian, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian. The harmonic and melodic minor scales give us some very interesting alterations to each of these modes. Most of the significance of these will come later when we begin talking more about composition, but I do want to go through them quickly. For the harmonic minor scale, we raised the subtonic to become a leading tone. This takes us out of our diatonic key signature, so we'll have to do a little more analysis for each of the modes of this scale. Also, most of these modes don't have unique names like the modes of the major scale. They are simply described as one of the major modes with additional alterations. We'll use A minor for our examples. The A harmonic minor scale is A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, and A. The second mode of this scale would be B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A, and B. If we compare it to its parallel major scale, B major, we get the formula of 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, 6, flat 7, 8. Because it is most similar to Locrian, this mode is often referred to as Locrian sharp 6. Notice it is not referred to as a natural sixth, although I do occasionally see it erroneously described that way. The diatonic sixth in a minor key is a minor sixth. When it gets raised, it needs to be recognized as having been raised, thus the sharp, instead of it being returned to its diatonic pitch, with the natural sign. This can be a little confusing and seem contradictory at times. Remember, the scale formulas are a comparison between the scale and its parallel major. The alterations in the names of these modes, however, refer to changes applied to the notes of that mode. The third mode would be C, D, E, F, G sharp, A, B, and C. This is almost identical to the C major scale, or C Ionian, except it has a raised fifth. So it is often called an augmented major or Ionian sharp 5. The fourth mode would be D, E, F, G sharp, A, B, C, and D. This is most like Dorian, with a flat 3 and a flat 7, but it also has a raised fourth. It is sometimes called Dorian sharp 4, but is usually called the Romanian minor scale or the Ukrainian Dorian scale. As these two names imply, it is found in traditional music from Eastern Europe and has a very distinctive sound well worth checking out. The fifth mode of the A harmonic minor scale would be E, F, G sharp, A, B, C, D, and E. Its formula is 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 8. This is a rather common scale and is called Phrygian dominant. It is almost the same as Phrygian, except that it has a major third, which makes it a major scale, where Phrygian is usually a very minor sounding scale. The combination of the major third and the minor seventh make it a dominant version of Phrygian, so Phrygian dominant. The sixth mode would be F, G sharp, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Its formula is 1, sharp 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is almost the same as Lydian, but it has a sharped second degree, so it is called Lydian sharp 2. The seventh mode would be G sharp, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G sharp. This is a little harder to recognize because it's another one of those times where we need to compare it to a major scale that doesn't usually exist. The notes of the G sharp major scale can be found by adding a sharp to each note of the G major scale. This gives us G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F double sharp, and G sharp. Now, comparing these two scales, the formula for this mode would be 1, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, flat 5, flat 6, and double flat 7. So every note has been lowered except the tonic, and the seventh has been lowered twice, creating a diminished seventh. This is called super Locrian double flat 7, or the altered diminished scale. Here they are all together. Harmonic minor, Locrian sharp 6, Ionian sharp 5, Dorian sharp 4, Phrygian dominant, Lydian sharp 2, and altered diminished. Now let's look at the melodic minor scale. Again, we'll use the key of A minor. The A melodic minor scale is A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. The second mode of this scale would be B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and B. Its formula is 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 8. It is often called Dorian flat 2 or sometimes Phrygian sharp 6. It is also sometimes called the Assyrian scale because it is often found in Assyrian folk music. The third mode would be C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, and C. Its formula is 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, sharp 5, 6, 7, 8. It's basically Lydian with a sharp 5, so it is called Lydian sharp 5 or Lydian augmented. The fourth mode is D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C, and D. Its formula is 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 8. This is basically the Lydian mode with a minor seventh. Since it has the major third with a minor seventh, it is most often called Lydian dominant. It is sometimes called the overtone scale as well. The fifth mode is E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C, D, and E. Its formula is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 8. It is called Mixolydian flat 6, Aeolian dominant, or the melodic major scale. It is also sometimes called the Hindu scale because it corresponds to a scale used in traditional Indian music. The sixth mode would be F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. Its formula is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, 8. It is sometimes called the half diminished scale, but most commonly it's called Locrian sharp 2. The seventh mode is G sharp, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G sharp. Again, this scale has to be compared to the G sharp major scale with its double sharp on F. Its formula would be 1, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 8. It has every note lowered except the tonic. It is called super Locrian or the altered scale. Here are all of the modes of the melodic minor scale. Melodic minor, Dorian flat 2, Lydian sharp 5, Lydian dominant, Mixolydian flat 6, Locrian sharp 2, and super Locrian or the altered scale. It's a lot, I know. I'll put a link in the description to a couple of files that hopefully will help in keeping up with all of this. While the modes of the major scale are very common and should be memorized, most of the modes of the harmonic and melodic minor scales are not. These modes do create very interesting and quite unique melodic ideas and are very well worth going through and learning to play, but don't kill yourself over memorizing them just yet. We will get into the application of these more exotic scales later. Creating the modes for all of these scales creates a lot of information to learn and an enormous list of scales to know about, but there are a few other scale types that I would also like to add. They are symmetric, pentatonic, and bebop scales, and that is what our next video will cover. Until then, thanks for taking the time to watch. Let me know in the comments if you find this helpful or just as likely outlandishly confusing, and subscribe if you want to see more of this series. As always, I really appreciate your time. Take care.